Have you ever wondered why some people seem to attract money like a magnet, while others struggle to make ends meet? The answer might surprise you. It's not about working harder or being smarter, it's about what's going on inside your head. Today, we're going to talk about a powerful idea that could change your financial life forever. It's called the Law of Assumption, and it's based on the teachings of Neville Goddard, a famous spiritual teacher. Now, you might be thinking, oh great, another get-rich-quick scheme. But hold on, this isn't about complex money strategies or risky investments. It's about something much simpler and more powerful, loving yourself and believing you're already wealthy. That's right, the key to unlocking unlimited wealth might just be in your own mind. Imagine for a moment that you're already rich. How would you feel? What would you do differently? How would you carry yourself? This isn't just a fun daydream. According to the law of assumption, when you truly believe and feel that you're wealthy, you start to make it a reality. Think about it like this. Have you ever noticed how your mood can change everything? When you're feeling great, doesn't it seem like good things just keep happening? And when you're down, doesn't it feel like everything goes wrong? That's a small taste of how powerful your mind is. Now imagine applying that power to your finances. But here's the catch, and it's a big one. If you don't learn to love yourself first, no amount of positive thinking about money will work. It's like trying to grow a plant in bad soil. No matter how much you water it, it won't thrive. So before we dive into manifesting wealth, we need to talk about self-love. Now, loving yourself might sound easy, but for many of us, it's one of the hardest things to do. We're often our own worst critics. We focus on our flaws, our mistakes, our shortcomings, and when it comes to money, oh boy, do we have a lot of negative thoughts. I'm not good with money. Rich people are greedy. I don't deserve to be wealthy. Sound familiar? These thoughts are like weeds in your mental garden. They choke out any chance of wealth growing in your life. So the first step in using the law of assumption to manifest wealth is to face these doubts and fears head on. This isn't always comfortable. In fact, it can be downright scary. You might have to confront some deep-seated beliefs about yourself and about money. But here's the thing. If you want to change your financial life, you have to be willing to change your mind first. Now that we've talked about the importance of self-love, let's dive deeper into the law of assumption. This idea comes from Neville Goddard, a spiritual teacher who lived in the 20th century. Goddard taught that our imagination is the key to creating our reality. The law of assumption says that whatever you believe to be true becomes your reality. It's like you're living in a world that's one big mirror, reflecting back to you what you believe about yourself and life. Here's how it works. Let's say you believe deep down that you're not good with money. Maybe you had parents who struggled financially, or you made some money mistakes in the past. Because of this belief, you might avoid learning about investing, or you might overspend because you think, what's the point? I'll never be good with money anyway. And guess what happens? You end up struggling with money, which just confirms your original belief. It's a cycle that keeps repeating itself. But here's the good news. This works both ways. If you can change your beliefs about yourself and money, you can change your financial reality. This is where the power of assumption comes in. When you assume you're wealthy, when you truly believe it in your heart, you start to act differently. You might find yourself more open to financial opportunities. You might feel more confident asking for a raise. You might start to see money as a tool for good rather than something to fear. It's like you're telling the universe, this is who I am. I am wealthy. And the universe responds by making it so. Now, I know what you might be thinking. This sounds too good to be true. If it were this easy, wouldn't everyone be rich? And you're right to be skeptical. The law of assumption isn't a magic spell. It doesn't work overnight, and it doesn't work without effort. But here's the thing. It's not about sitting on your couch and wishing for money. It's about changing your entire relationship with wealth from the inside out. And that starts with how you see yourself. Think of your life as a giant mirror. Everything you see around you, your job, your bank account, your relationships, is a reflection of your inner world. Your thoughts, beliefs, and feelings are like the image you project onto this mirror. If you constantly think, "I'm broke," or "I'll never be rich," that's the image you're projecting. And sure enough, that's what you'll see reflected back at you in your life. But what if you could change the image you're projecting? What if instead of seeing yourself as broke, you saw yourself as abundantly wealthy? What if instead of thinking, "I'll never be rich," you thought, "I am wealthy and money comes to me easily"? This is where the law of assumption gets really powerful. When you assume wealth, when you really, truly believe it, you start to see opportunities you might have missed before. You start to feel more confident in your ability to handle money. You might even find yourself naturally making better financial decisions. It's not about pretending or lying to yourself. It's about shifting your perspective, changing the lens through which you view yourself and the world. And when you do that, the world changes to match your new view. Now, this might sound simple, but it's not always easy. Our beliefs about ourselves and about money often run deep. They might come from our childhood, our culture, or our past experiences. Changing these beliefs takes time and effort, but the payoff can be incredible. Imagine waking up every day feeling confident about your financial future. Imagine knowing, deep in your bones, that you are worthy of wealth and abundance. Imagine seeing opportunities for growth and prosperity everywhere you look. That's the power of the law of assumption. And it all starts with how you see yourself. Now that we understand the law of assumption, let's talk about why self-love is so crucial to making it work. Think about it. If you don't truly value yourself, how can you believe you deserve wealth? If you're constantly putting yourself down or focusing on your flaws, how can you project an image of success and abundance? Self-love is like the foundation of a house. Without a strong foundation, no matter how beautiful the house is, it will eventually crumble. In the same way, without self-love, no amount of positive thinking about money will create lasting change. So what does self-love look like when it comes to wealth? It means believing you are worthy of abundance. It means treating yourself with kindness and respect, even when you make financial mistakes. It means valuing your skills, your time, and your energy. When you love yourself, you naturally assume good things will happen to you, including financial success. You're more likely to take care of your money because you see it as a way of taking care of yourself. You're more likely to invest in your future because you believe you have a bright future ahead. But here's the thing. Self-love isn't always easy. We live in a world that often tells us we're not enough, not smart enough, not thin enough, not rich enough. Breaking free from these messages takes courage and practice. Start by catching your negative self-talk. When you find yourself thinking, "I'm bad with money," or "I'll never be wealthy," stop and challenge that thought. Ask yourself, is this really true? Where did I learn this belief? Is it serving me? Then, practice replacing these negative thoughts with more loving ones. Instead of, "I'm bad with money," try, "I'm learning to manage my money better every day." Instead of, "I'll never be wealthy," try, "I am worthy of abundance and I'm open to receiving it." Remember, this isn't about ignoring reality or pretending everything is perfect. It's about choosing to see yourself in a more loving, positive light. It's about assuming the best about yourself and your abilities. As you practice self-love, you'll find it easier to assume wealth and abundance. You'll start to see yourself as someone who deserves financial success. And that's when the real magic of the law of assumption begins to happen. Now that we've laid the groundwork with self-love, let's talk about how to actually apply the law of assumption to manifest wealth. The key here is consistency. It's not enough to think about being wealthy once in a while. You need to consistently assume that you are already wealthy. This means thinking, feeling, and acting as if you already have all the money you desire. How do you do this? Start by imagining your ideal wealthy life in detail. How much money do you have in the bank? What does your daily routine look like? How do you feel when you wake up in the morning? Really let yourself feel the emotions of being wealthy, the security, the freedom, the joy. Then carry this feeling with you throughout your day. When you're at work, assume you're there because you want to be, not because you need the money. When you're shopping, assume you can afford anything you want. But remember, a wealthy person is often mindful with their spending. When you're paying bills, feel gratitude for the ability to easily meet your financial obligations. This might feel strange at first, especially if your current financial reality doesn't match up. You might feel like you're pretending or lying to yourself. But remember, according to the law of assumption, you're not pretending, you're creating. You're projecting a new image onto the mirror of life, and over time, your outer world will begin to reflect this new image. Of course, this doesn't mean you should ignore your current financial responsibilities or make reckless decisions. The law of assumption works in harmony with practical action. The difference is you're taking action from a place of assumed abundance rather than assumed lack. For example, instead of budgeting from a place of scarcity, I need to cut back because I don't have enough, you budget from a place of abundance. I'm managing my wealth wisely to create even more abundance. Instead of avoiding your bank statements because you're afraid of what you'll see, you review them regularly, assuming you'll find evidence of your growing wealth. As you consistently assume wealth, you'll start to notice changes. You might find yourself having new ideas for earning money. You might attract unexpected opportunities. You might even start to enjoy managing your finances. Remember, the law of assumption isn't about magical thinking. It's about aligning your thoughts, feelings, and actions with the reality you want to create. It's about training your mind to see abundance everywhere, to expect good things to happen, and to believe in your own ability to create wealth. This takes practice. You won't transform your financial life overnight. But with consistent effort, you can change your relationship with money from the inside out. And that's where true, lasting wealth begins. Now let's talk about something really important. What to do when things get tough. Because they will get tough. You'll have doubts, you'll face setbacks, there will be days when it feels like the law of assumption isn't working at all. This is normal. In fact, it's a crucial part of the process. Why? Because these challenges give you the opportunity to strengthen your assumption of wealth. When you face a financial setback, your old beliefs about money might try to take over. You might hear that voice in your head saying, "See, I knew this wouldn't work. I'll never be wealthy." This is your chance to practice the law of assumption even more strongly. Instead of giving into these thoughts, remind yourself, this is temporary. I am still wealthy. This situation is just an opportunity for me to grow and learn. It's like working out. When you're lifting weights, the moment when it gets really hard is the moment when you're building the most strength. In the same way, when you maintain your assumption of wealth even in difficult times, that's when you're really strengthening your new beliefs. Here's a practical tip. Create a wealth evidence journal. Every day, write down at least 3 pieces of evidence that support your assumption of wealth. This could be anything from finding a dollar on the street to getting a compliment at work. The point is to train your mind to look for evidence of abundance rather than scarcity. When doubts come up, review your journal. Remind yourself of all the ways abundance is already showing up in your life. This helps you stay consistent with your assumption of wealth, even when your current circumstances might suggest otherwise. Remember, the outer world takes time to catch up with your inner beliefs. Just because you don't see immediate results doesn't mean it's not working. Keep assuming wealth, keep loving yourself, and keep taking inspired action. The results will come. Now let's talk about a secret weapon in manifesting wealth: gratitude. Gratitude is like a magnet for abundance. When you're truly grateful for what you have, you open yourself up to receive even more. Why does this work? Because gratitude puts you in a state of abundance right now. When you're focused on what you're grateful for, you're not focused on what you lack. You're assuming wealth in the present moment, not pushing it off into some future time. Start and end each day by listing 5 things you're grateful for. They don't have to be big things. Maybe you're grateful for the comfortable bed you slept in or the delicious coffee you had for breakfast. Maybe you're grateful for the ability to read this and learn new things. As you practice gratitude, you'll start to notice more and more things to be grateful for. This creates a positive cycle. The more grateful you are, the more abundance you notice, which gives you more to be grateful for. But here's the really powerful part. Start being grateful for the wealth you're assuming into your life. Thank the universe for your growing bank account, even if you can't see the growth yet. Express gratitude for the financial opportunities coming your way, even if they haven't appeared yet. This might feel strange at first, like you're thanking someone for a gift they haven't given you. But remember, according to the law of assumption, you're not pretending, you're creating. Your gratitude is a powerful affirmation of your assumption of wealth. Gratitude also helps you maintain a positive mindset, which is crucial for the law of assumption. When you're in a state of gratitude, it's much easier to assume wealth and abundance. You're already feeling good, already feeling blessed. From this emotional state, it's natural to assume that more good things are on their way. So make gratitude a daily habit. Feel it deeply, let it fill you up, and watch how it transforms your relationship with wealth. Now that we understand how important self-love is for manifesting wealth, let's talk about some practical ways to cultivate it. Remember, self-love isn't just about feeling good. It's about treating yourself with kindness and respect in your thoughts and actions. First, start with positive self-talk. Pay attention to how you speak to yourself, especially about money. When you catch yourself thinking something negative like, "I'm terrible with money," pause and reframe it. Try something like, "I'm learning to manage my money better every day." This simple shift can make a big difference over time. Next, take care of your physical self. This might seem unrelated to wealth, but it's all connected. When you eat well, exercise, and get enough sleep, you're sending a message to yourself that you're worth taking care of. This feeling of self-worth spills over into all areas of your life, including your finances. Another powerful practice is mirror work. Stand in front of a mirror each morning and say something positive about yourself. It could be about your appearance, your skills, or your character. For example, "I am worthy of abundance," or "I make smart financial decisions." It might feel awkward at first, but stick with it. You're reprogramming your subconscious mind. Finally, celebrate your wins, no matter how small. Did you stick to your budget this week? Celebrate it. Did you resist an impulse purchase? That's worth celebrating too. By acknowledging your progress, you're reinforcing positive behaviors and building self-love. Remember, self-love is a practice. It's not about being perfect or never having negative thoughts. It's about consistently choosing to be kind to yourself, even when it's difficult. As you build this foundation of self-love, you'll find it easier to assume wealth and abundance in your life. Now that we've built a foundation of self-love, let's dive into how to apply the law of assumption specifically to wealth. This is where things get really exciting. The key here is to assume the feeling of wealth now, not someday in the future. You want to embody the energy of a wealthy person in your thoughts, feelings, and actions. Start by getting clear on what wealth means to you. Is it a specific amount in your bank account? Is it the freedom to travel whenever you want? Is it the ability to generously support causes you care about? Whatever it is, imagine it vividly. Feel the emotions associated with having that wealth. Now, here's the crucial part. You need to maintain this feeling of wealth throughout your day, regardless of your current circumstances. When you pay bills, do it with a sense of gratitude that you have the means to cover your expenses. When you go to work, carry yourself with the confidence of someone who is financially secure. One powerful technique is to create a wealth persona. Imagine your wealthy self. How do they walk, talk, and make decisions? How do they feel when they wake up in the morning? Try to step into this persona as often as possible. Another effective practice is to use affirmations. These are positive statements that reinforce your assumption of wealth. Some examples might be, money flows to me easily and abundantly. I am a money magnet. I always have more than enough. Repeat these affirmations daily, especially when you're feeling doubtful or frustrated. The key is to say them with feeling, really allowing yourself to believe them. It's also important to take inspired action. While the law of assumption is powerful, it works best when combined with practical steps. If an opportunity arises that aligns with your assumption of wealth, take it. Trust your intuition and be open to new possibilities. Remember, the goal is to assume wealth now, not to wish for it in the future. You're not hoping to become wealthy someday, you're assuming you already are wealthy and allowing your outer world to catch up with this inner knowing. Now let's address something that's bound to come up as you practice the law of assumption: doubts and setbacks. These are not just normal, they're an important part of the process. How you handle them can make all the difference in your wealth manifestation journey. First, understand that doubts are natural. Your mind is used to your current financial reality, so when you start assuming a new, wealthier reality, your old thought patterns might resist. When this happens, don't fight it. Instead, gently remind yourself of your new assumptions. You might say something like, I understand why I'm feeling doubtful, but I choose to believe in my abundant future. Setbacks, too, are part of the journey. Maybe you have an unexpected expense, or an investment doesn't pan out as you hoped. In these moments, it's crucial to maintain your assumption of wealth. Instead of seeing setbacks as proof that the law of assumption doesn't work, view them as temporary situations that are ultimately leading you to greater abundance. One powerful technique for dealing with doubts and setbacks is to keep a wealth evidence journal. Each day, write down at least 3 pieces of evidence that support your assumption of wealth. This could be anything from finding a coin on the street to receiving an unexpected discount. The point is to train your mind to look for evidence of abundance rather than scarcity. Another helpful practice is to reframe challenges as opportunities. If you face a financial setback, ask yourself, what can I learn from this? How is this preparing me for the wealth I'm assuming? This shift in perspective can turn even difficult situations into stepping stones towards your wealthy future. Remember, consistency is key. The law of assumption isn't about never having doubts. It's about consistently choosing to assume wealth despite those doubts. Every time you choose your assumption of wealth over your doubts, you're strengthening your new beliefs and moving closer to your desired reality. Lastly, be patient with yourself and the process. Major life changes don't happen overnight. Trust that as you consistently assume wealth, your outer world will gradually align with your inner beliefs. The journey itself is valuable, teaching you lessons and helping you grow into the person who can comfortably handle the wealth you're manifesting. By facing your doubts head-on and maintaining your assumption of wealth even during setbacks, you're not just manifesting money. You're developing unshakable confidence and resilience. And those qualities are priceless on your journey to unlimited wealth. Let's dive into a powerful tool that can supercharge your wealth manifestation: gratitude. Gratitude isn't just a nice feeling, it's a state of being that aligns perfectly with the law of assumption and can dramatically accelerate your journey to wealth. When you're grateful, you're focusing on abundance rather than lack. You're telling the universe, "I have so much to be thankful for," which naturally assumes that you have plenty. This mindset is crucial for attracting more wealth into your life. Start by practicing gratitude daily. Each morning when you wake up and each night before you go to sleep, list 5 things you're grateful for. They don't have to be big things. Maybe you're grateful for your comfortable bed, a delicious meal, or a kind word from a friend. But here's where it gets really powerful. Start being grateful for the wealth you're assuming into your life. Thank the universe for your growing bank account, even if you can't see the growth yet. Express gratitude for the financial opportunities coming your way, even if they haven't appeared yet. Remember, you're not pretending. You're assuming these things into existence. Gratitude also helps you maintain a positive mindset, which is crucial for the law of assumption. When you're in a state of gratitude, it's much easier to assume wealth and abundance. You're already feeling good, already feeling blessed. From this emotional state, it's natural to assume that more good things are on their way. Try this. Whenever you spend money, instead of feeling lack or worry, feel gratitude. Be thankful that you have the means to buy what you need or want. This simple shift can transform your relationship with money and open the floodgates of abundance. Remember, gratitude is not about ignoring problems or pretending everything is perfect. It's about choosing to focus on the good in your life, which naturally attracts more good. As you cultivate this attitude of gratitude, you'll find it easier and more natural to assume wealth and abundance in all areas of your life. Now let's talk about 2 crucial qualities you'll need on your journey to manifesting wealth: patience and persistence. The law of assumption is powerful, but it's not a magic wand. Real, lasting change takes time. Remember, you're not just trying to get more money, you're transforming your entire relationship with wealth. You're rewiring deeply ingrained thoughts and beliefs. This doesn't happen overnight. Patience is key. Trust the process. Understand that your outer world may take some time to catch up with your inner assumptions. This doesn't mean it's not working. It means you're in the middle of a profound transformation. Think of it like planting a seed. When you plant a seed, you don't dig it up every day to see if it's growing. You trust that under the soil, important changes are happening. You water it, give it sunlight, and patiently wait for it to sprout. Your assumption of wealth is like that seed. Nurture it consistently and trust that growth is happening, even if you can't see it yet. Persistence is equally important. The law of assumption isn't something you do once and forget about. It's a practice you return to every day. Even when you don't see immediate results, Even when doubts creep in, you persist in assuming wealth. This persistence doesn't mean forcing or struggling. It means gently and consistently choosing your assumption of wealth. Every time you catch yourself in a scarcity mindset, every time you face a financial challenge, you return to your assumption of abundance. One helpful technique is to set reminders for yourself throughout the day. These could be alarms on your phone, post-it notes in your workspace, or a special piece of jewelry you wear. When you encounter these reminders, pause and reconnect with your assumption of wealth. Feel the emotions of abundance, recall your gratitude, and reaffirm your wealthy identity. Remember, every moment is a new opportunity to assume wealth. If you slip into old thought patterns, don't beat yourself up. Simply acknowledge it and return to your assumption of abundance. This persistent practice over time will reshape your reality. As you cultivate patience and persistence, you'll find that assuming wealth becomes more natural and effortless. You're not just waiting for wealth to appear, you're actively creating it with every patient, persistent assumption. As we wrap up our exploration of the law of assumption and its power to manifest wealth, let's take a moment to reflect on the journey ahead. You've learned that the key to unlimited wealth isn't outside of you, it's within you. It's in your thoughts, your feelings, your assumptions about yourself and the world. You've discovered the crucial role of self-love in this process and how to cultivate it. You've explored practical techniques for assuming wealth, dealing with doubts, and maintaining gratitude. Remember, this journey is about more than just accumulating money. It's about transforming your entire relationship with abundance. It's about becoming the kind of person who naturally attracts wealth and success. As you practice the law of assumption, you're not just changing your financial situation, you're changing yourself. This path may not always be easy. There will be challenges, doubts, and setbacks, but with patience and persistence, with consistent practice and unwavering belief, you can create the wealthy life you desire. Start today. Choose one technique from this video and commit to practicing it daily for the next week. Maybe it's mirror work, or gratitude journaling, or using wealth affirmations. Whatever you choose, give it your full commitment. Remember, every assumption of wealth, no matter how small, is a step towards your abundant future. Every time you choose to believe in your own worthiness, every time you express gratitude for what you have, you're aligning yourself more closely with the wealth you desire. You have the power to shape your reality. You have the ability to assume wealth into existence. Trust in this power, believe in yourself, and watch as the mirror of life begins to reflect back to you the abundance you've always deserved. Your journey to unlimited wealth starts now. Assume it, believe it, live it. The wealthy life you've dreamed of is waiting for you to claim it. So go forth with confidence, love yourself fiercely, and assume the wealth that is rightfully yours. Your abundant future is calling. It's time to answer.